They say the left hand, it drop mountains. They say the right hand, be slaying dragons.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and talk a little heavyweight boxing because there's a lot to talk about in regards to heavyweight boxing, more specifically in regards to the Bronze Bomber himself, Deontay Wilder, one of the most exciting heavyweights of the last 10 to 15 years because Deontay Wilder's name has been all over the news. I mean, first, recently, it was his name was in the news because, Alexander Usyk called him out, despite, Usyk. People wanted to see Usyk fight the likes of Aji Kabiel and Moses Italma. Usyk's like, nah, forget all that. Let me fight Deontay Wilder. He's a very famous guy in America. You want to fight Deontay Wilder, right? Which then led to, IVB Boxing and Ed Pereira making themselves known to the boxing world, talking about how they were going to stage this July 11th open air event in San Francisco. They were going to try to break the record for the most people ever at a boxing show. They were going to give away a bunch of free tickets, and it was a whole big thing. But now it looks like that's not happening right now, or even at all. Who knows? But it's not happening next because it has been reported that Deontay Wilder is not fighting Alexander Usyk next. In fact, it's been reported that Deontay Wilder won't even be fighting in America next because Deontay Wilder, for the first time in his career, he is going to the UK. Yes, but not to fight Anthony Joshua. No. He's going to the UK to fight War Chisora, Del Boy himself, Derek Chisora. They're saying April. It's been reported by the BBC and a number of news outlets that's what's going to happen with Wilder. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But assuming that this news is true, let's just take some time to break this fight down and what it really means. Now, in terms of the overall world title picture, doesn't really mean anything because Derek Chisora is not a world champion. Neither is Wilder. Wilder will only be involved in the world title picture if Alexander Usyk decides to follow through and fight him at some point in time, which he might not if Wilder loses this particular fight. And when you talk about, Chisora and Wilder in their current form, Chisora is a guy that's been around the block. He's a 49-fight veteran in the professional ranks. And the funny thing is, despite the fact that he's 42 years old, you could make the argument that Derek Chisora, over the course of his last, 5 fights, is doing some of his best boxing because, he's got wins over the likes of Kubrat Pulev and Joe Joyce and Otto Wallin in his last fight. And he's doing he's doing an exceptional job squeezing every last little drop at the end of his career, right? And so we know Chisora is tough. We know he's durable. We know he's a guy that is extremely experienced. I mean, he's fought everyone you can think of, from the Klitschko brothers to Fury to Dillian White to Joe Joyce. I mean, to everyone, right? So he's not lacking in experience. He's not lacking in balls. He's not lacking in durability. He's not lacking in those departments in terms of, in the ring. As for Deontay Wilder, he finds himself now here at 40 years old. His last fight came against Tyrell Anthony Herndon, a relative unknown in the fight game. Wilder was heavily criticized in that fight. A lot of people said he looked washed. I actually liked what I saw. I thought he boxed a good fight. It was a measured approach, and he got him out of there in 7 rounds, right? So it wasn't like he struggled or the fight was close or anything like that. That's all we could go off of. Outside of that, as far as the world level, Wilder got destroyed by Zhilei Zhang, and he lost to Joseph Parker, right? So that's what it is for Wilder. He hasn't really done much on the world level in a long, long time. And this will be a unique experience. Wilder is a very experienced guy. I know he was an Olympian, so he's fought internationally before, but not really as a pro, and not really experiencing that British crowd in the professional ranks for a big fight. It's different. It's a lot different. So I like the fight. I like the fight for what it is. And what the fight is, it's not a fight between two guys that are going to be threatening the top of the division. Let's just be real. But it's just it's one of those good old-fashioned old guy fights, And sometimes old guy fights are the best because both fighters, Wilder's already lost plenty of times. He ain't got nothing to lose really. Derek Chisora has lost plenty of times. He definitely don't got nothing to lose. So the fighters can go out there and be free and just let the leather fly. Commit to their punches, commit to their offense, and give the fight fans a good show. And when you talk about the heavyweight division over the last, 10, 15 years, you can't talk about it at all without talking about Wilder or Chisora. So I like the fight. Wilder, at this stage of his career, I don't think he's that guy that fought, Luis Ortiz all those years ago. I think he's boxing a bit more disciplined. He's keeping things a bit longer, and he's not quite as explosive as he once was, but he still has enough pop, more than enough pop to keep you honest. He's still the bronze medalist. He can still punch. Chisora, I think, has actually gotten better with time. He's gotten better with time. His timing's gotten better. He has a great he has this great way about him of dipping his knees and bending at the waist and finding good counter punching opportunities. So I think for Wilder, the key for him, you got to keep Chisora at range, keep him on the end of those punches, and be very cautious when he exits, because Chisora is going to be looking for those overhand rights to clip him. And if he's not careful with that, if he exits and he gets real tall and he's not smart about how he exits that pocket, he might get put on a Derek Chisora highlight reel. So it's a good fight. I think it's one of those fights. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't think this fight goes past 7 rounds. I think this is gonna be a fight where we get a lot of explosiveness, a lot of exchanges, and I think it'll be a good build-up, because you talk about Derek Chisora's personality. This is a guy that literally threw the table and was kicking off at the press conference with Dillian White all those years ago. This is a guy that, if I'm not mistaken, he hit David Hay over the head with a bunch of glass. Or maybe it was David Hay with him. I can't remember who it was. But, he's been in a lot of memorable moments in build-ups to his fights. So you have him. Wilder, we know he's got a big personality. So overall, I don't think people should shit on this fight because, these guys are old. I think people should appreciate it for what this fight is. And the fight is going to be a great event for the fight game, for the fight fans, and for the heavyweight division. So Deontay Wilder, you may not like Deontay Wilder. You may say like, oh, well, Deontay Wilder didn't fight no one. He was overrated. He was this. He was that. But one thing you can't say about Deontay Wilder, one thing Deontay Wilder has delivered on his entire career, because he always told you guys, I'm bringing the excitement back to the heavyweight division, and he's doing that here again, even in 2026, even at the age of 40 years old. So respect to him. Respect to Derek Chisora for stepping up to the plate. That's the news. That's what's being reported out there. We'll see. And we'll wait for the formal announcement. But, yeah. And I guess Usyk will wait in the wings. Maybe Usyk will fight the winner of this fight, because Usyk seems to be at a stage of his career where he's not really trying to fight the young killers. As the kids say these days, he's not trying to fight the YNs. He's trying to fight the unks. He's trying to fight the older guys from his generation. So maybe he feels like he proved everything he needed to prove. I don't necessarily agree with that, because I feel like Caballero at least should get his shot. But again, that's just my 2 cents. But give me your 2 cents in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
Thank you for watching True School Sports.
Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports empire, the home of boxing. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, guys. So help us keep being great. Help us keep pushing out that real boxing content for the fine folks all around the world. And make sure you jab, you hook, you Mike Tyson, you Mayweather that subscribe button. Pops, show them how do they gotta hit the subscribe button. Pop, pop.